After hours of playing Killing Floor 3, I can't shake one major question. Where's the rest of the game? Don't get me wrong, the gore, the chaos, the classic Killing Floor vibes, they're all here. But the longer I played, the more it felt like something was missing, like a hollow shell dressed up in pretty graphics. Is this really supposed to be the next big evolution of the franchise we've been waiting for? Or is it just Killing Floor 2.5 with a shinier coat of paint? Today we're breaking down everything this game gets right, and spoiler alert, it's a very short list and everything it completely dropped the ball on. If you're new here, I'm Andre. If you want honest reviews that tell you whether to spend your hard-earned money or not, hit that like and subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get into it. Before we start tearing this thing apart, let's talk about why Killing Floor 3 is such a big deal. The last mainline entry, Killing Floor 2, launched in 2015, almost 10 years ago. That was during a year packed of giants. We're talking The Witcher 3, Metal Gear Solid 5, Batman Arkham Knight, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Despite that insane competition, Killing Floor 2 managed to carve out its own space. It wasn't a blockbuster by any means, but it became a cult classic for fans who loved co-op chaos, relentless gore, and that glorious Z-time slow-mo. Now, fast forward to 2025, gaming has evolved. Unreal Engine 5 has set the bar for what next-gen visuals and graphics should feel like. Live service models have conditioned players to expect consistent drops. Killing Floor 3 wasn't expected to deliver more gore. It was supposed to redefine what the franchise is for a new era. So did Tripwire deliver on that promise? Spoiler, not even close.
Make sure your weapons are cleared before boarding the VTOL. Let's get going.
Let's start with the most glaring problem. I tested it across multiple setups and experienced the same. Random frame pacing issues, consistent stuttering, frequent dips below 60 FPS, and even in solo play. No hordes on screen, no explosions, still stutter. Then in the next fight with twice as chaos, it was buttery smooth. The inconsistency is maddening in this game. In multiplayer, forget about it. Expect freezes, frame drops, and occasional crashing with matchmaking. And honestly, that's super disappointing because this game thrives on multiplayer play. But here's the kicker, these aren't minor hiccups. They break immersion in a game that thrives on chaos and flow. 1 minute you're in a perfect Z-time slow-mo sequence, the next, the frame rate tanks and that cinematic glory turns into a slideshow. And let's talk about bugs. Bosses getting stuck in the environment, headless corpses strolling around like it's a haunted theme park, UI issues so bad pressing Alt and Tab at the wrong time can lock you out of your game completely, causing you to restart. Oh, and joining a match mid-progress, enjoy watching those intro cinematic mid-wave because why not? In 2025, this level of instability is unacceptable, especially when you consider what other shooters are delivering right now. Helldivers 2, Left 4 Dead style successors, even free-to-play titles are smoother and more polished than this. So what do you actually get for your money? Here's the launch package. You get 6 perks, around 30 weapons including the knife, 8 maps, 13 enemy types, and 3 bosses. On paper, that doesn't sound terrible, but here's the problem. We waited nearly a decade for this game. Killing Floor 2 offered a similar amount of content at launch in 2015, and over time, Killing Floor 2 grew massively thanks to updates. In Killing Floor 3, it launches at almost no evolution, no bold new mechanics, no gameplay changing systems, nothing that screams this is next gen. You know what really bothers me about this game? The priorities. You know what's missing on day one? Basic in-game chat. You know what's fully functional? The cosmetic transaction shop. That should tell you right there everything that the devs were focused on. When the most polished part of the game is the item shop, your priorities are out of whack. Now look, I'm not here to just keep dunking on the game. I'll give credit where credit is due when it comes to the gore and the carnage. Tripwires are still the kings. No one does gore like the franchise does. The blood physics, the dismemberment, the explosions, it's a symphony of chaos. Limbs fly, heads pop, and when Z-times kick in, watching a wave of enemies get obliterated in glorious slow motion never gets old. I will give the game that. The Heavy Metal soundtrack is a chef kiss. It fits the chaos perfectly. If you came here for pure, unfiltered carnage, Killing Floor 3 still delivers that. Those classic Michael Bay moments, fire everywhere, chunks of meat flying across the screen, screams in the distance, that's the stuff Tripwire nailed perfectly. But beyond the gore, let's talk about the core gameplay. The formula hasn't changed much at all. Survive waves, earn cash, buy better weapons, rinse and repeat, very easy. And look, I get it, that's the soul of Killing Floor, but nearly after 10 years, this kind of feels stale. There's no real innovation here. The weapon feel mixed bagged. Some of the guns feel powerful and crunchy, other feels like water pistols. Weapon progression needs serious balancing. Certain guns feel underpowered, others break the flow entirely. Perk system, it was functional but uninspired. Z time is still a highlight, pulling off those perfect chain headshots in slow-mo is satisfying every time, but where was the evolution? Where's the new mechanic that makes me go, okay, this is why Killing Floor 3 exists? It's just not here in this game. To be fair though, enemy models look great. Sirens, blows, and the classic Z lineup have never looked better. Hit reactions are sharp, gore feedback is satisfying, and sub-bosses encounter can be intense. But again, beyond visuals, there's no leap forward. Their AI feels the same as before, patterns are predictable. You've seen this song and dance before if you played Killing Floor 2. The map and atmosphere, it was serviceable, lighting is solid, reflections look nice, but none of them really stand out. There's no, oh, this is an iconic Killing Floor 3 map moment. You just play them, you forget about them, and you move on. All the maps in the game felt interchangeable. For a game that's built on replayability, that's a huge problem. Maps should feel like characters themselves. Here, they just felt like set dressing. And as for the bugs aren't just annoying, they're game breaking at times. Bosses stuck in walls, corpses walking around, menu glitches that's forcing restarts. The players are frustrated already, and you can see it in their Steam reviews, Reddit threads, and Twitter posts. The word unfinished comes up a lot, and honestly, they're not wrong. The game does feel very unfinished and rushed. And when we talk about the story mode, or as I like to call it, the Checkbark Mach campaign, that's the biggest joke of it all. The premise sounds cool. You're part of Nightfall, a team stopping Z infestations in the future. Great idea, but there was zero execution at all. Missions boil down to collecting samples, flipping switches, backtracking across maps, surviving final waves. That's it. There's no payoff. There's no emotional hook at all. No reason to care. It feels like Tripwire added a campaign just to put a story mode on the back of the box. Now, here's the thing. Killing Floor 3 isn't beyond saving. The foundation is very solid. It's just bare bones. What Tripwire needs to do, fix performance issues yesterday, drop meaningful content, updates ASAPs, new map, new perks, new bosses, rebalance weapon progression, develop a real in-game loop or something beyond play the same 8 maps forever. If they don't, this game risks becoming another Back 4 Blood, a flashy launch that fizzles out within months. My final verdict, so is Killing Floor 3 worth your money right now? Honestly, no, absolutely not. Please keep your hard-earned money and buy something better. It's fun in short bursts, sure. If you want mindless gore with friends, it'll scratch that itch, but at full price, not a chance. This feels like a polished but a hollow shell, a sequel that plays too safe and delivers too little, and launches with too many issues. For now, save your money and wait for patches, wait for content, because in the current state, Killing Floor 3 is a step back from Killing Floor 2 and not a step forward. But hey, that's just my take. What do you think? Have you played Killing Floor 3 yet? Do you think I'm being too harsh, or do you agree with it that it feels unfinished? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. If you want to catch me on Twitch, link in the description. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and stay alpha.